Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Sagittarius is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Sagittarius, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. We got a Four of Swords. Spirit's showing you as someone who really can think outside the box, okay? You're someone with vision. Yeah, you've got your eyes fixed on something far away, something clear that others can't see. You right now are in need of some kind of outside the box thinking. It's time to really push the envelope, okay? The Four of Swords is sometimes this idea of we're kind of thinking in a very limited way, okay? And I think that Spirit's kind of telling you to stretch your ideas, to push yourself. The usual things that you think about, the normal solutions to problems aren't going to work for you right now, you know? It's time to really rely on those kind of wacky ideas that you're known for, yeah? Because you're somebody that I feel like you have a lot of good ideas. You have a lot of creative thinking, abilities. And right now, that's what Spirit wants you to use. It wants you to think differently than the way you've been thinking before. Anytime we get a 4, we realize we need a 5. We need to change the way we're thinking. Okay? So I feel that this card is, in a way, this card is meditation. Okay? It's kind of saying, let's stop going around in a circle with our thoughts. And let's quiet them down. And let's see what kind of images arise. Let's see what sort of bubbles up. Yeah. I feel that you're being told to kind of step outside of the comfort zone, step outside of what's normal for you, okay? Be open to new ideas, be open to new connections, new conversations, be open to new people, okay? Which means that we kind of have to quiet down the continuous loop of thoughts that we have so that we can perceive, we can pay attention to those opportunities, those people, those new ideas, that communication. When the opportunity does arise, we'll see it, okay? So right now you're being told to use your vision and get the mind out of its rut. I feel like we're kind of looking at a problem in 2 or 3 or 4 different ways, but that's it. We need a fresh kind of idea. We need something, very spontaneous, very creative, something to sort of get us out of the loop. Yeah, I think also with this card, it's kind of it's important that we let ourselves just sit and do nothing. They say meditation was thinking about nothing, right? Well, that's impossible. But I think if we allow ourselves to be just a little understimulated, allow yourself to be just a little bored, right? The good idea will come to you. All that creativity, the mind will find a way to entertain itself. And that's where the real good ideas start happening, So let's put this card into a little bit of context. And let's see what's going on in your life right now. We have a Knight of Cups. Interesting. There's the 8 of Wands. That's the creative problem solving. These are all the good ideas in your imagination that you've got stored up in there somewhere. Okay. We have the Magician. You are the magic maker, Sagittarius. Claim your role as a magic maker right now. Okay. Here we have the Hanged Man. You have a 4 of Pentacles. Yes, the way forward is to just let yourself be bored. Okay. I feel that there's a sudden opportunity that's coming your way. And it may have to do with travel. It may have to do with some kind of expansion. But I feel like it's kind of, it's like you stepping into a new adventure. Okay? So this is something that you really kind of open the doorway to. And right now I think it's just a matter of staying calm, staying a little bit bored, and letting this opportunity or letting this creative idea rise. Okay? I feel like there is something, it's like a larger calling. It's something from inside of you that's sort of bubbling up, and you get that good idea of what to do next. Or if you're looking for a new direction in life, or, kind of whatever you're looking for here, I feel like it's kind of the next step in your architecture of your life. Okay? We're kind of looking for the next, the next big thing, or the next pathway, or what's going to be the tone, let's say, of the next season for you. Okay. Let's keep going. We've got more cards to put on the table. You have the High Priestess. You have the Hermit, a 7 of Wands, and the 8 of Cups. Now, the 8 of Cups, I feel like, is a warning, okay? Because we have this 8 of Wands, and this is that kind of very fast, kind of putting a lot of irons in the fire. Almost, this card, it almost feels like we're throwing a lot of stuff at the wall just to see what kind of sticks. But we don't want to employ this permanently, because then we're going to be, I think, drained. We're going to feel even more lost. Okay? So this is a tool that we have to use for now, but not permanently. Yeah. I think that you have a lot of faith. I think your faith does really fuel your choices right now. I feel like shutting off the intellectual mind, the left brain kind of thing, not thinking, not trying to figure it out, but allowing the idea to come to you. Okay, that's more of the ticket here. Okay. I think there are some small distractions that are coming your way that are going to kind of challenge your focus a little bit, okay? And so it's important that you kind of trust what your intuition is showing you, and then you surrender to it, and then you yield to it, and you flow with that current, okay? So we got our Hanged Man up here too. I think you have kind of a destiny here to be a leader. I think maybe you see yourself as a little bit of a hermit, but I think you're meant to do something big. You're meant to do something bold. And I feel like you're meant to lead, okay? I feel like you will have some obstacles, but I feel like you have this kind of a hidden optimism that's going to allow these to be stepping stones, okay? So when you are on this new path and this new adventure, and this, whether it's travel, whether it's some kind of expansion of what you're already doing, or if it's kind of a new quest or a new adventure, make sure that you don't get too discouraged by the challenges or the obstacles that you see, because they're a necessary part of the path. Okay. I think that your magician energy is really reminding you that your growth comes from big, trusting leaps. Okay? That's how you are able to continue to stack up the wins and continue to build the physical life that you're building, your finances, your health, or whatever it is. It's by taking those kinds of those leaps and risks. Okay? I think your real power here is in your habits, really, right? The sheer boredom, honestly, the boredom of the habits that allow those good ideas to break forth. It's kind of like when you automate your life and everything just becomes routine, then your spirit is kind of free to explore and bring out those new ideas and all that imagination and all that creativity. Yeah. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. I set it down right over here with Jimbo, the Lizard King, right there on top. And, even though I can do anything, We're not going to look at that card until the very end. It will tie everything together, and it will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any moment during this message you feel like you might know what that card might be, put your prediction in the comment section down beneath the video. Okay? Now, as we look around the room, we do see major arcana. We see the Magician. We see the Hanged Man and the High Priestess, which I think kind of pulls you, well, sort of in, but sort of out of hermit mode. We'll talk about that. But first, I want to talk about the High Priestess and the Hanged Man, because these two cards are designed to go together. And I don't want to get in trouble for showing this, but there is the connection between the Hanged Man and the High Priestess. Why? Because your intuition, the spiritual guidance, the wisdom of the divine, that divine download, whatever you want to call it, the light of the star, right? This requires your surrender. You're letting go and you're letting God or goddess or deity, right? Or spirit or conscience or universal mind requires surrender, because the High Priestess is asking for your hand, because she wants to guide you to your best life. She wants to guide you to your paradise, lead you to what's next for you, okay? And you have to trust that. Okay, so I feel that this is a really important combination of cards. And I think that you're someone who's you really are tapped. You have vision. When I say vision, I don't just mean your eyesight. I mean kind of like your spiritual vision. You know, your third eye is wide open. And I think it's because you know how to, I don't know, almost like standardize your life in some ways. Like the basic things of life are just kind of like, they're almost like automated. There's almost that part of your soul that can just do the basic things without paying much attention. Okay? And it sort of opens up your heart, opens up your mind for the divine guidance. Okay? And I don't think it's a good idea to always be on autopilot. But sometimes it is just kind of sitting with that kind of routine or that kind of boredom that then forces us to get creative, okay? And I think when the idea comes to you, I think it's important that you go with it. You don't fight against it, yeah. So we have you kind of surrendering to that good idea. Yeah, so we have our majors, and I think with the hermit mode, this is something that is requiring that you go your own way. It's a new quest for you. You're embarking on a new journey. I feel like it's a journey where you're going to have to engage and you're going to have to lead something. I kind of feel like you're a reluctant leader. I feel like that's going to be a big part of your new quest. Okay. So we have now fire. We've got water and water. A little bit of air. Yeah. And we have a little bit of earth. There's a lot of majors. The Knight of Cups is somebody who is on the quest for the Holy Grail. Somebody that has kind of perceived the idea, has perceived the images, has used their imagination and kind of knows what the quest is, and now is out pursuing that. It's kind of we're leaping into something. The Knights of the Tarot are all about how you begin something. You're beginning the path with heart. Whether it's a new job, it's a new relationship, it's a new hobby, it's a skill, a sport, a musical instrument, you're volunteering, whatever it is. You're going to work for charity, I don't know. But you're giving yourself to something. You're giving your heart over to something. You're giving your gift to the world here. And so to me, this feels like we are beginning something with a lot of emotion. Okay, your heart is really tied into this. Okay. And I think it's important that you allow your mind to sort of, have its doubts if it wants, but to not interfere with this surge of emotional energy that's taking you forward. Whether this is into a new job, whether this is into a new relationship even, or if it's into a new leadership role, I feel like it is a new adventure. Okay. I feel like it might be an opportunity for travel, or in some way for you to make a new home, or to get comfortable somewhere. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting. Okay. The Knight of Cups is also a card of random acts of kindness. You know, this is somebody that is doing something for the sheer love of doing it. Not doing it because it was logical. Not doing it because it was going to make money. Not doing it because someone else told you to do it. You're starting something because it feels good. It feels right. Because it resonates with you and you want to do it. It's pleasing to you to do it, you know? And I think that this could be something very simple. It could be, where am I going to go for lunch, you know? I don't want to figure that out with math. It's not a calculus problem, what I want for dinner. Okay, it's got to be from in here. What feels good, what sounds good. Okay? And I think that you are someone who is kind of bored with the usual things of life, and that's good. Sit in that boredom for a minute to allow your spiritual vision to open up and show you what this next thing is for you. This could be the hobby, the sport, the musical instrument, you know, it doesn't really matter. I want you to claim this reading. If it's resonating with you, give me a yes in the comments. Hit the like button, okay? Under the surface, we have this internal pressure. This is Mercury in Sagittarius, so this is a very special card for you today because we have Mercury here. And of course, you are Sagittarius. So I feel like Spirit's calling upon your creativity. Okay? Spirit wants you to solve this problem creatively and not intellectually. Okay? We don't have the sort of critical thinking aspect. It's kind of like just calm the mind down. Don't try to think about it really, just sit in it. And what do you feel? Okay? What pulse do you feel inside of you? What sort of push do you feel? This is pressure coming from the inside, right? This pushing you in different directions. I feel like you have this internal urge to move in a particular direction. And this is you doing that because you're surrendering to that creative urge or surge. Okay. And you're sort of jumping, leaping boldly forward. And I feel like other people kind of admire that about you. You know, people admire the capacity that you have to just exist in your routines and live that kind of life that is just kind of orderly. But then for you also to jump into these really fun, awesome adventures that take you way out of your comfort zone. And so it's like you have those extremes about you. I think people admire that, you know. The Eight of Wands is also this kind of anxiety. Is that feeling like I can't sit still? And that's exactly what you have to do right now, though. Sit still. And so even though you feel this urge to move and it feels like I got to hurry up and do something, Spirit's saying, you're going to get there faster by taking it slow. You're going to get there by sitting in that kind of boredom and forcing yourself to be kind of patient and allowing that creative, imaginative energy to start bubbling up and give you the vision of where to go now, what to do now. Your magician in the background here, you are a magic maker, okay? And this is showing me that you understand your own process. You understand that sometimes in order to make these big, bold moves or to get that creative idea, you have to sometimes go hermit mode and sit in that boredom. And it's like you try to make your life as routine as possible. You know, like you're just going to eat the same thing every day, and it's just like the same, everything's going to be the same, wear the same outfit every day, and just really simplify and organize and structure and get everything as sort of routine as possible so that It doesn't occupy very much of your mind. You know what I mean? It doesn't take up all that much bandwidth. And that's when you sort of wait for that creative idea, that spark. And then you're sort of leaping forward and you leave the routine behind. You're not clinging to that routine for safety, right? You're using it as a tool to open up these higher pathways, to kind of tap into the cosmic consciousness, okay? And I think that, sometimes when we're too focused on our baseline sort of consciousness, we get too immersed in those things that we're doing. There's too much to figure out. It's almost like I don't want to make the decision about what's for dinner. I just want it to be the same thing every day. I don't want to have to worry about what I'm wearing, so I'm just going to wear the same thing every day. Not because there's some sort of pathology there, but because it allows us then to explore, subconsciously even, explore those higher realms of consciousness. I don't know, I guess it wouldn't be subconscious, right? It would be supra-conscious. But to open up those pathways to that creativity, okay, to those ideas. Now, I don't know that you're doing that literally, but you understand the process. You understand what that kind of means to you. I feel like you are someone who you understand to eliminate distractions, fortify your mind, put your body into a nice routine, have good habits in your life. I think that you're somebody that understands the value of breath work and meditation and a calm, rather uneventful life, so that you can receive the event, so you can do something eventful. And the fours to me are really that basic kind of grounding. The breath work, the meditation, the minimizing of drama, okay, the stress reduction. And that's going to be very important in order for you to have this vision of your future, this vision of sort of what's coming next for you. The physical routine as well. Okay, having good habits of sleep and intentional movement and intentional eating. Okay, those habits, those physical and mental habits, are really allowing you to have this vision of your future and to surrender to that great idea and to leap forward here. Okay, really leap forward. The Hanged Man needs to be the ego kind of surrendering to the impulse, for one thing, but also the ability to sort of sit and do nothing. The Hanged Man and the Hermit, I think, together are learning how to just sit and be bored. Just because you're not doing something outwardly in a visible way, you're not working on something, doesn't mean you're inactive, doesn't mean that you're not working on something, So I feel like you maybe have a challenge sitting still. That's really what's important for you. In order to invoke that vision, you've got to learn to sit still. Okay? Like Odin on the tree said, I'm not moving until I get the vision. I'm not moving from this spot. It's Buddha too. I'm not leaving this spot until I attain. And so the lack of outward involvement, is going to facilitate some of that inner focus, that inner work, and allow for that vision. But you have to find a way to get yourself to settle down, especially with that Eight of Wands on the inside there. It's kind of, it's an internal, I don't want to say it's anxiety, but it's kind of a need for patience. And the Hanged Man just kind of needs to just be still. Don't move your body, don't move your mind. And try to release and surrender that need to always be active, working on the problem, trying to figure it out. Sometimes we try too hard to figure something out and we're never going to get it. Okay, so the Hanged Man in this case is a suspension of action. Don't intentionally try to figure it out. And this is all part of your magic. There's an intention here. You're not surrendering, you're not giving up. You're not just saying, fine, I'm waving the white flag, I don't even care anymore. This is all intentional. This is all part of the magician's sort of process. Okay? This is how you're doing your magic right now. The Hanged Man has to surrender to allow the intuition to guide you. Okay, the Four of Pentacles here, this is the only Earth card we have, the only Pentacles card. This is a solid and stable foundation. Okay, to me it feels like it's kind of, this is you like literally traveling to a new place. Okay, the Knight of Cups traveling here, wherever that is for you. It may be the new job, it may be the new home, it may be a vacation, I don't know. But I feel that it's really, it's something that is going to expand your life. It's going to help you to manifest more of the life that you want. This may be a type of milestone for you that you're headed toward, okay? I feel like things are really taking off, and I feel like this is the next waypoint on your journey, the next peak, right? In this eternal climb up the mountain. This is a very big marker or milestone for you. When your life is kind of going up and to the right, okay? This is a wonderful milestone that you're hitting, whether it's in your career or your physical, your physical health, or in, your business or something like this, okay? This is like, this would be the first 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, and then it'll be when you hit 5,000 and 10,000 and 50,000 and 100,000. So these are those milestones, okay? I feel like you're headed toward the next one right now. And the way to do that is to not try to do it, but to just sink into the routine of things and don't try to force it. Don't try to do anything. Let the creative energy bubble up from inside of you, and you'll see, you'll have the vision about exactly what to do next, okay? Subscribe to the channel, that's what you should do next. Path of the Serpent. Your general energy is the High Priestess. You know that your intuition will guide you. The High Priestess will always guide you to your best life without fail. The reason why we're not all there yet is because our conscious mind fights against the intuition sometimes. And it's something that is a constant battle to try to sort it out. We have the intuition, but then we think about, we have to interpret the intuition. It enters our mind, and our mind starts pulling it apart and analyzing it, because that's what the mind does. So life is a constant struggle of trying to trust this intuition without distorting the message with our intellect. And it's not easy. And it's very, I think, rare that we actually succeed at following the pure intuition without some sort of mental interference, okay? And that's why I think it's important that you suspend your sort of action and you try to calm the mind so that you can see clearly. Because this is the widening of the psychic aperture. This is the opening of the third eye. This is the waxing of the moon. Really represents the full moon, okay? A time in your life where your psychic activity is at its peak. And this is in your general energy. Your psychic energy right now is at its peak. So don't be distracted by too much mental activity, too much thinking and doing. You're going to miss this window. This is a window of psychic activity that you want to take advantage of it. Okay. So this energy will start to wane very soon, and you've probably been experiencing a lot more psychic activity in your life, a lot more synchronicities, a lot more dreams, a lot more messages, a lot more repeating numbers, repeating phrases, a lot more really strange things happening to you. And the point is to allow it to continue happening and sort of, put that question out there into the universe and allow that the answer to come to you. Okay? Which means you got to shut down your body and your mind a little bit. Minimal activity, routine activity. Set yourself up for success here. Whether you do candles or you do, literal like meditations or prayers, whatever it is that you do to sort of welcome and foster more of that psychic activity. Okay. That's the ticket here for you. In the environment, you have the hermit. I think that we have to go hermit mode when we are trying to invoke the divine guidance in this way. Okay. We have to go hermit mode a little bit. It is more of a magical retirement. Okay. A magical retirement, that's what this is. But I feel like the leap that you're taking, or the journey that you're on right now, is one that is very unique. It's not anybody else on this journey that you're on. Okay, they're probably similar paths that other people are taking, but you're doing something quite special in your life. I feel like there is a call for you to lead somewhere. Okay, and I don't know if you're leading by example, or if this is literally that you are stepping into a position where you got like employees. Okay, it could be. But I think you have to trust your intuition there too. And I think you have to allow yourself to be guided from the light within, just as the hermit does with their lamp. Allow yourself to be guided even when you're among other people. Your mind is going to start associating with those other people and considering those other people and tying into, well, what do they want? What do they expect? What would they do? How are they viewing? How are they judging me? And all that stuff automatically. And you can't really turn that off. What you do is you have to try to trust your inner light. That's what Spirit wants you to do now. This path that you're on, it feels like there's going to be obstacles. There's going to be opposition. Stay true to your light. Step forward boldly with whatever this is, and you will get to the safety of the next mile marker, or the next waypoint, or the next milestone. I want you to claim this reading. You're making magic here. You're constructing something out of your life, and you have to continue to follow that inner light. Okay, and that's why we have the hermit here in the environment. You're out there among the people, but you're staying true to your light. Even when there's opposition, even when you have to push back. You have an energy here that will never quit. Okay, doesn't matter the odds. You're stepping up. And this is the most challenging card, the Seven of Wands, in the position of the fear, worry, concern. Okay, because the fear really is that you're going to be standing up for this on your own, and you're never going to back down. The odds are going to be against you. It feels like it's kind of a never-ending battle. It kind of feels like a David and Goliath sort of situation. It would be much easier to just allow yourself to acquiesce to whatever everybody else is doing, or what they want to do, or what their opinions might be, because, I could fit in easier, What you're doing is taking you in a new direction. I feel like your whole life is it's taking off because of you, because of that inner guidance, because of that spiritual force, because of your boldness and your willingness to kind of go against the grain a little bit. Your willingness to be yourself, to be different. You don't fit in. You look at this, you don't look like the other wands there, right? Your wand's right there in the middle. You don't look like the other wands. You don't have the same energy. You don't have the same desires. You don't have the same will as everybody else. You're different. You're going your own way. You're making your own magic. Okay? And it's important that you understand the valor of that. There's no backing down. Yeah. And the Eight of Cups at the end, this is a Saturn in Pisces type of energy. In a way, it is kind of showing that it is going to be a bit of a rough road going ahead. There will be obstacles for you. okay, that are going to challenge your focus, but discipline will see you through. Okay, and it may really be that there are temptations of ease and relaxation, and kind of more temptations of more perhaps gratifying pathways. Maybe the low-hanging fruit. Okay, your discipline is going to carry you through that. Your path will open as you walk that path. This is you walking toward happiness, true and utter happiness, and not getting bogged down with all of the distractions, okay? This is also a card that kind of warns us about too much of the inaction, too much of the hanged man hermit mode, and perhaps also with the Eight of Wands, right? 8 and 8 here. That this is a window of time where you're being told to suspend your action, to get the vision, to get the clarity, to get that download, okay? But you don't want to get stuck there, okay? So this inaction has to lead to action. And so now I'm hoping that this next card, the mystery card, is going to be some more fire. I feel like we don't want to end with this, okay? Because this is kind of in a way, this is a hopeless card. It's kind of like this is a card of losing hope, okay? But this also, every card has light and shadow. This card also, in other tarot packs, it shows the hermit walking away from a stack of cups, right? You know the image I'm talking about, kind of crossing a river. It shows the hermit going their own way and leaving behind the rewards, the accolades, the praise, the gratification, the luxury of fitting in. Kind of shows somebody who's willing to go their own way, even through hardship, rather than just giving up on their dream and taking the easy road. Okay. And so I think that the Eight of Cups really, especially with our hermit, it shows that you are willing to sacrifice the so-called, pleasures of life in order to do what you know is really important and really meant for you, to continue this quest that you're on. It's not going to be all sunshine and rainbows. Okay. I feel like there are those things in life that are telling you, well, just come lay down. You don't need to do that. Just come relax over here, hearing the sort of siren song that's going to lead us right into the rocks. And you're able to just say, no, I'm going to keep going this way. It's those tempting distractions, yeah. And I think you're able to kind of see them for what they are, and you're able to keep walking. It's like you're at the carnival, and there's all those people that are trying to come and try to toss the ring onto the bottle, or hit the balloon with the dart or whatever, and you're just saying, no, thank you. I'm going to keep walking on my journey. Let's look at the mystery card. I hope this is some fire. I hope it's maybe a Knight of Wands. It might be the Art or Temperance card, your power card. This could be even the Empress, okay? I kind of hope it is the Empress, but if you have a prediction, put it in the comments. Let's see what we have. Oh, it's a Six of Wands, yeah. It's victory. It's victory. This is you leading a pack, for one thing. But this is you succeeding. This is you setting out on a quest, and you're victorious. Okay? I think that this is a strong confirmation that the vision that you have, the vision that comes to you, and your willingness to do whatever it takes to follow through with that is going to lead to a lot of prosperity. Yeah. a lot of prosperity. These are stepping stones. Okay, these are stepping stones. And this is the win. Yeah, this is the victory. And you are leading others to victory. This isn't for you, just you alone. Okay? New prosperity, this big win is going to happen when you trust the unknown, when you trust that intuition, when you're willing to, suspend yourself on the tree like Odin and receive the vision, but then act on that vision. Okay? It's going to lead to great things. Now, we're going to do an extended reading. We'll do an I Ching hexagram. We'll do some oracle cards. There's a link in the corner. There's a link in the video description. New readings for Sagittarius, Tuesdays and Fridays. Be sure to watch both readings. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you are the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we are all in this together.